All right, welcome everybody back to the Liverpool Reaction and American LFC podcast. Liverpool beats Lille 2-1 and is a guaranteed top two spot through automatically to the round of 16. Coach, uh, not a very eventful game, however, 2-1, 3 points, 7 out of 7. Liverpool are starting to hum again.
Yeah, I mean, it was the kind of result that I suppose that they needed. It wasn't a great game, as you said, but yeah. I mean, another win, 7 out of 7, and there's just the PSV game remaining next week.
Yeah, I think they can bring whoever they want to. They could bring you and I out there for the PSV game with a guaranteed top two spot. I was reading a little bit about how this all works. It's very confusing. So going through it once will be interesting to see. But the top eight are guaranteed a spot in the round of 16. So also, what's nice about guaranteed you're being in the first or second position means that you can't face each other unless you're in the finals. So, from a seeding perspective, it's an advantage to be in the top two. And then if you're third and fourth, you can't face the first or second top team unless it's a semifinals. So, granted, there's a lot of great teams in the Champions League, and there's some teams that have underperformed. But generally speaking, the teams that have performed, we're in really good position here.
Yeah. I mean, I think at the end of the season we will be able to evaluate this new format more clearly. I thought that we'd be getting complaints about the different strength of schedule of different teams and things like that, and maybe this will come out in due course. But yeah, I suppose in one sense it's more interesting than the previous format because pretty much the way it was set up was the top teams were kind of through by, I don't know, well before the end of the group stage generally.
Yeah.
And there's still lots of question marks for top teams: PSG, Manchester City. I think Real Madrid is down there pretty low.
Mm-hmm.
And as I think we've said before, I don't think it'll make much difference in the long run because it's knockout football basically.
Yeah.
And so I think one thing that I kind of find amusing is I saw quite a lot of Liverpool fans calling for more rotation going into this game that we played today against Lille. And they got the win, and Barcelona got the win. So I think those are the only two clubs that could finish first, Liverpool and Barcelona. So I'm seeing some of these same fans kind of backtracking now and saying that they want Liverpool to go out and put a strong team against PSV. When I'd have thought logically, I mean, if Liverpool finishes first, well, that's nice. If they finish second, that's also nice because it doesn't really make that much of a difference ultimately. And I think it would behoove Arne Slot to really rotate for that final game against the Dutch team PSV.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I suppose the other thing that might come into it as well is that he's going back to his own country. And when he was the manager of Feyenoord, he had a big rivalry with PSV. So I don't know if that will figure into his thinking at all. But I'd have thought logically that this is a game that you don't play Van Dijk, you don't play Salah, you don't play Alisson. Players at that level. I don't see the point really of playing them. But I'm sure that he'll take them along for the ride and what have you.
I say leave him at home so he's not even tempted.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know that that'll happen. I don't know. I mean, I think in spirit, I would have to agree with what you're saying. Don't even get tempted to use them. But I suppose the other side of the coin is that it's not a bad thing from a squad perspective to put some of the clad iron starters on the bench, because now all of a sudden the roles are reversed. They have to give support to the lads who are on the field.
Mm-hmm.
So he may look at it from a squad dynamics. I mean that's assuming that he's going to do some major rotation for PSV.
There was some rotation, nothing crazy. Kwanzaa played and started, and I thought he played very well, actually. I thought this was one of Kwanzaa's better games since he's been called to the first team, definitely this year. And Connor Bradley started. The midfield was this. McAllister did not start. Curtis Jones was in there. but McAllister got minutes. Endo came in. So, there was some rotation, but nothing to especially the fact that like Trent came in for Connor Bradley. Luis Diaz started on the left instead of down the middle, and Darwin was in the front, leading the line as a striker. So it's interesting. It wasn't a team that looked that far off from a full blown team looking to win a game. So it's interesting what will happen. But Lille has, I just read they were on a 21 game unbeaten streak.
Right.
You could tell there was quality there. They threatened the goal in the first half. Shot from their left back, it just whizzed by. He hit it very well. When he hit it, I thought it was a goal. But Mo Salah back to his scoring ways. He's been a bit of a dry spell. Could have had 3 or 4 today. So it's nice to see that we're two wins on the bounce here, and then we have Ipswich this weekend. So maybe we potentially are out of this little blip that, quote unquote blip that we kind of said and talked about on the last show.
Yeah. I still don't think it was a blip, really. I think people just are thinking of the Manchester City era too much, where basically they were just winning every game, and it became a disaster if you dropped a point. So I don't think it's that kind of season. Basically, I think Liverpool will drop more points, and I think the other teams will all beat each other and drop points as well. So it's a question when it comes down to the Premier League that Liverpool keep their noses in front, and as long as they're picking up points, even if they don't win, I mean, that's something in the right direction, given the nature of the league this year.
Yeah. Coach, you mentioned the Barcelona game. I blinked and Barcelona was down 3-1. Then they were down 4-2, and I just kept my eye on the Liverpool game. I didn't know what happened, but all of a sudden I looked just before we hopped on here, and Rafinha gets a late winner, and I'm like, holy crap, they came back. Any drop points from them would have guaranteed us a top spot, but hats off to Barcelona on a great comeback. I'm going to watch the highlights when we hang up here and get a better idea of what happened in that game. But very, very interesting of what's going to happen with next Tuesday. I'm very interested. I'm just curious of how this is all going to shake out with you got Manchester City, PSG, teams like this that are fighting their way in. And once the coach, like you mentioned, Real Madrid, and coach, as you mentioned, once you get in, it's a knockout. Just get in the tournament, so to speak, and then anything can happen.
Right. So yeah. Do you know who Barcelona play in their final game?
There's Benfica today, and Barcelona. Let me see. Let me look real quick. Here we go. Atalanta. That's not easy.
Where's it at?
It's at Barcelona.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Atalanta, is a good team. So yeah, that'll be an interesting game, as will Liverpool's game actually.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me look at PSV and where are they in the standings?
In the standings, PSV is 16th currently. They have 11 points.
Okay, so
3 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws.
yeah, so it might be a more vital game for them because they've played a game more than a lot of the big teams below them. AC Milan's ahead of them. They've only played 6 games.
Yeah, they play tomorrow. Yeah.
Sporting, Feyenoord, Real Madrid, Celtic, Manchester City, PSG. All these teams have only played 6 games. So PSV could be in a situation where they really need to go for it if they're going to qualify, basically. Yeah, it'll be an interesting game. It'll be an interesting game for sure. And I mean, for me, as I said earlier, it doesn't really make a difference whether Liverpool finish first or second. I think they've pretty much done the job.
Yeah.
And so I would rather that they rotate and take the opportunity to rest some players who've played a lot. But I'm not the manager, and Arne Slot is clearly his own man, and he's going to do what he feels he needs to do, and I think we have to respect that.
Yeah, and Coach, from a standpoint of rotation for PSV, I mean, you're talking wholesale changes, right? Everybody, yeah. When you think about that and game time and keeping everybody happy, it just makes sense. But like you said, he's his own man. We are, just people who talk about Liverpool, not coaching Liverpool or have any understanding of the intricacies of what that dressing room is like and what he's building over there. But it's working. Whatever it is, it's working.
Yeah, I mean, Liverpool can still turn out a good team. I mean, if you think about it, something like Kelleher in goal, Bradley and Simicast as your fullbacks, Quansah. I mean, he's going to have to play. He's going to have to play one of his top choices in central defence, really.
Mm-hmm.
So probably, I mean, I would go with Canate and Quansah. Endo in front of them, Jones, Elliott, that's your midfield.
Mm-hmm.
And up top, I'd probably go Chiesa, Nunes, Diaz. So, he can keep some of his big guns out on the bench. And he can also, I think there's enough space to bring along players like Jadon Danns, for example.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, but again, as we've just said, we are fans and we aren't the decision makers.
It's funny playing Monday morning quarterback, so to speak, with these things. But
manager,
yeah, Monday morning, but it's interesting. Anyway, Coach, I think other than that, there's not really too much to talk about. Is there anything else you want to cover?
No. I mean, because I think basically there's an important game, an opportunity against Ipswich, which I think most people will look at that as a given 3 points. And I can't recall who Arsenal are playing. I know Manchester City and Chelsea play each other this weekend. I think Arsenal have a tough game. Arsenal have a tough game this weekend, I think.
Arsenal. No, they got Wolves.
Where's it at?
It's at Wolves.
Well, yeah, I know Wolves at the wrong end of the table. I think Wolves has a good squad.
They have some players for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I know that last time you were asking, are there any right backs out there? And I think there's one, that Liverpool have shown an interest in at Wolves in Alt Nouri.
Yeah.
Of course, they've got Cunha. So like they've got some players and yeah, I mean, I think that could be quite a tough game, and I mean, but clearly Liverpool just have to concentrate on their own games, make sure that they keep getting points on the board, and then like they have their noses in front and they've got to keep it in front, basically.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I think we will come back after the Ipswich game on that. I believe that's a Saturday. Is that a Saturday? Yeah. Oh, that's the early morning game.
Yeah, Saturday
Oh
morning.
no, it's 8 a.m. Okay, it's not the 5:30 special for me here in Colorado, so that's
Right.
good.
So
All
yeah.
right. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for watching. Please subscribe and give us some love through that. Would love to grow the channel this way, and also join our community. We are also on podcast forum. They are going to be released shortly after the streams here. And thanks again for watching. And Liverpool, top of the table, and we are looking in really, really good shape in the Champions League and in the league. And hopefully, when we talk on Saturday or Sunday about the Ipswich game, we'll be celebrating another 3 points. Until next time, everybody, take care.